Truck on, and I turn my feed truck on. So I put my hands up, I'm feeding my cows corn, silage, and hay. I'm nodding my head like yeah, my cattle are all like yeah. I put my hands up, I'm feeding my cows, look at that happy face. Yeah, feeding cattle in the USA. Yeah, feeding cattle in the USA. So I put my hands up, I'm feeding my cows corn, silage, and hay. I'm nodding my head like yeah, my cattle are all like yeah. I put my hands up, I'm feeding my cows, look at that happy face. Yeah, I'm feeding cattle in the USA. Yeah, I'm feeding cattle in the USA.
Something strange is happening here in Kansas, and I'm not talking about the land shark. I'm talking about the bald eagle. Sacred to the Native Americans and the emblem of the United States of America. These gorgeous creatures were rarely seen on our farm until last year. Now we see them all the time. A young couple built a nest in 2020. In March, the female sat on the nest for 2 weeks straight, and then the eagles left. There were no eggs. But they returned this November. Immediately, they began building the nest bigger. Knowing little about eagles, I started watching them carefully. I always thought they slept in the nest every night, but one evening, when I was watching them, I noticed that they left, so I decided to follow them. The eagle is in the tree. I currently see one. Alright, I'm putting it in gear. The other eagle just came. No way. Oh, that is so crazy. The second eagle came and landed right next to her. So are they going to fly to bed together? There you go. First one went. Is the second one going to go? Yeah, the second one went. They're both going. I followed them for 4 miles and then lost them when the road ended. After that, I hired my brother Brett to set up another road to get another angle.
They're staying right on the half mile line. You don't see them.
Yep. Oh, I see it. Uneven.
None of this worked. So finally I stationed myself where I thought they were going.
When I was sitting over here, 2 other eagles flew in. Oh, I'm too far away. Okay, I just ran in. I am on train tracks, and I saw 2 eagles land exactly where I thought they were going to go. We already saw an eagle flying around here, so that's a good sign. Oh man, the second one just flew in. There's a bunch of blue heron nests at the top of all these tall trees.
Now that I know that they leave the nest at night, I'm going to put up a camera because I want to watch these young eagles start a family. I thought about climbing the tree, but instead I decided to build a really long ladder. One thing I learned about a ladder is when you're up high, you need 2 hands to work and 1 hand to hold on. I built this little contraption that I would carry up on my body, hang on the ladder, and then I could step backwards on a platform to use both hands. That was terrifying, so scratch the ladder. I was telling my friend Kyle about my eagles, and he said,
Oh man, I love eagles.
and then I told him I needed to mount a live camera there, and he's like,
You need a bucket truck.
so he loaned me his. Then I was telling my other friend Kyle, and he said,
Man, I just love eagles.
so he helped me find a camera and install it.
We're going up to the tree to mount the camera for good. I've got it installed.
Now I need power. Kyle, number 1, is also CEO of Funk Electric.
Put a step-down transformer on it to push 120 volts to your camera.
I love Transformers.
Optimus Prime.
And with that, the live camera is installed. I decided to name the eagles after my grandma and grandpa who started this farm, Willie and Marie. Meet Bonnie and Clyde, the fiercest great horned owls in the state of Kansas. 2 bald eagles built a nest, and one night Bonnie and Clyde found it. It was the most beautiful nest they had ever seen, so they decided to steal it. Unaware, the eagles spent their first night in the nest while Bonnie and Clyde watched them in the dark. They struck at high midnight when both were fast asleep, knocking Willie out of the tree, sending a message loud and clear that Bonnie and Clyde were here. The eagles stayed away at night but continued construction during the day. And then one morning, Bonnie didn't leave. It looks like overnight the owl Bonnie laid an egg. You can't see it because the eagles built the walls up too high, but she's still laying there during the day. She's still sitting on the nest. And I've been out here, and early on there was 2 eagles that were off to the side on trees, and then a juvenile flew over, another eagle just flew over, and nobody's seen the owl yet. So we're gonna wait and see. This could get interesting. Let's talk Kansas bald eagles. I found an eagle nest about 2 years ago, and I went out there in the fall of 2022 with bucket truck Kyle's bucket truck, and I made it like halfway up, and I eventually gave up. And then in May, I got a phone call from my neighbor saying that there's this eagle lady out there putting a GPS tracker on one of the baby eagles. I'm like, what? So I went flying out to the nest. When I got there, the eagle lady recognized me because she likes to watch all my live cams. She asked to take a selfie. That's Trish Miller in the middle. She's doing a study of Kansas bald eagles because they have moved into the state in a big way. She had to get permission from the state of Kansas, who was present, and the feds to do this. I'm holding Trish. I named her after Trish. I'm in complete shock, by the way. I've had no time to process what is happening. Such shock that I made no videos of this, and I had to get pictures from everybody else. The other eaglet jumped out on a branch and they were unable to grab her. After putting the solar-powered GPS tracker on, they dumped water on the feathers and put her back in the nest. Her wet wings keep her from flapping and flying and jumping/falling out of the nest. And then 2 weeks later, she headed north and eventually headed up to Bismarck, North Dakota. And then she probably died. She went off the radar. Trish and I were very sad about Trish. But I decided I must make this a live cam. So I rented a huge boom truck. All right, I'm ready to put the camera up in the eagle nest. I just ordered myself a big boom. Okay, I'm ready to go up. I've got my boom here ready to go. I've got my Cat 5 and a garden hose because a mouse's favorite food is Cat 5. Cats love mice, mice love Cat 5. Okay, I've made it up to the nest. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna try to stick it right there.
Hi. Look, it's a bald eagle's nest. I'm here at the side of the eagle nest. Here I have set up 4 solar panels, and all the power goes into this Pro Box. And I just buttoned it up for the winter, so I really don't want to show you. Sorry. But the top half is all my brains. And I put some sleeping bags over it. I've got a heat lamp I can turn on for my house in here. All the computers and everything. I can remote in and control everything in here.
Meet Ellie and Harvey, your Kansas bald eagles. After I made this live, the chat noticed that Ellie is banded. What? Do you know what that means? It means she was banded up in the nest as an eaglet, just like Trish was. And the numbers tell you what nest she was born in. Now, if it's purple on the left leg, they're born in Kansas. And one day I couldn't handle it, and I zoomed in real quick to see that it was purple. So Ellie is a Kansas girl. So now I've got a job for my chat. As you know, I make live cams interactive. So by putting in or out in the command, you can zoom in or out the camera. And I want you guys to zoom in and read the numbers on the band. And once we figure it out, I'm gonna go and find the nest that she was born in. Do you realize how awesome this is? You guys, YouTube, are now involved in a scientific study of bald eagles in Kansas.